Hi, I'm Kristen Boddy and I'm an IELTS teacher at Viva College in Brisbane. Today in Spotlight on IELTS, we'll be talking about the IELTS Reading Test and focusing on the academic test. Don't forget that the academic and general tests have very different formats. So in the academic test, there are 3 sections, and in each section you'll find a text that's approximately 900 words long. If you're reading at a slow to average speed, you should be able to read 900 words in approximately 5 minutes. And if you're reading quickly, you should be able to scan that text in approximately 2 minutes. This should give you a good gauge as to how fast you need to read. If you find that you're reading far slower than that speed, this is something that you need to improve. In each section of the reading test, there are roughly 13 questions. Now, there are many different types of questions in the IELTS reading test, but today we're just going to talk about one of those types, which is the true, false, and not given style of question. Many students really struggle with this type of question because it is often about implication and reading between the lines. You need to know how to interpret the opinion of the author, and this is a challenge. Let me give you a couple of tips that will hopefully make your job easier. So, to begin with, it's useful to know that the order of the questions in this section are in the same order as the text. So when you're looking for the information, you should be able to find question 1, answer 1 first, question 2, answer 2 second, and so on. You shouldn't find the answers in random order, and if you do, there's something wrong. The second piece of advice that I would give you is that it is important to read the text quickly for gist, which means general meaning, and scan the text to find the main topics. If you don't do this, it's going to be almost impossible to answer a question that is not given, because actually you don't know what information is included in the whole text. Next, always know that in your answers there's going to be a minimum of 1 true, 1 false, and 1 not given answer. So if you've completed your questions and you find that you don't have one of those, something's missing. Look at the evidence. Let's have a look at these 2 sentences here. Imagine that the question is, Peter rarely conducts research in other countries. The first thing that you need to do is think about what are the important words in that statement. I would suggest that rarely is a very important word because it can change the meaning of the whole phrase. And the next important word is other countries, because we can make a comparison between Peter's country and foreign countries. Let's imagine that we've skimmed and scanned a text and we've found this sentence. Peter carries out research overseas. Now I want you to think for a minute. Does this sentence in the text prove that this sentence is true? Or does it prove that it's false? Or does it do neither? My suggestion is that actually Peter carries out research overseas does not prove that this is false, because we don't know from this statement how often Peter does it. It also doesn't prove that it's true for the same reason. So although we do have information about Peter carrying out research, we don't know how often he does it, so the answer is actually not given. In this particular case, a lot of students make a mistake. They would suggest that because we don't see rarely here, the answer is false. But you've got to be careful. Missing information does not mean opposite information or contradictory information. So always read slowly and carefully and interpret the questions based on the key words that are in the statement. Let's quickly review what we've talked about so far. In true, false, not given questions, the questions and the information in the text will always be in the same order, so you won't find the answers randomly scattered throughout the text. It's always important to read and scan for gist and general meaning so you know all of the content in the text. You're not going to miss anything. Always know that you'll have one true, one false, and one not given answer. So if you don't have at least one of each of those, something's missing. And finally, make sure you look for evidence. If the sentence in the question and the sentence in the text don't directly agree or directly contradict each other, more likely than not, the answer is not given. Thank you so much for listening today. If you have any questions or would like to leave comments, please leave them in the section below. My name's Kristen Boddy. I'm an IELTS teacher at Viva College in Brisbane, and I hope that you'll join us again next time for Spotlight on IELTS. Bye for now.